Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's Monday morning. I thought I would start this vlog in the living room so you have a nice backdrop of my Christmas tree. I feel like I filmed so many of my videos in my kitchen, and I thought, no, I'm going to start today's video in the living room with the Christmas tree behind me so you have something pretty to look at. It's so pretty. Anyway, it's Monday morning. Emily and I are just getting ready to head out. We have a few errands to do. My plan was to leave as soon as we dropped the kids off at school, but that didn't happen because we just weren't ready in time. I was sick over the weekend, so if I sound a little stuffed up, I am getting over a cold. So hopefully my voice isn't too bad, but I'm so glad to be feeling better because it's getting close to Christmas. Christmas is in a little over a week, and us moms don't have time. What? You want to say hi to the video? Yeah. Here.
Hey.
Hold on.
Hey, yeah.
Us moms don't really have time to be sick, do we? So anyway, we're gonna head out and do some errands, and when we come home, I don't know. I thought about wrapping. I thought about doing some baking. We'll see. I gotta take some meat out for supper before we go. But anyway, welcome to this vlog. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. I would come along and spend some time with us. What are you doing? Are you being a good girl? Not very often. She's this still that we can get a good look at her face. I've been trying to brush her lately because she really needs to get trimmed, but I'm waiting till she has all of her needles. She actually goes tomorrow for her other the other half of her rabies shot. They did hers in 2 doses because she's so tiny. So after she has that, she'll be I think the vet said wait about a week after she gets that, and then she'll be able to start going for walks and stuff. So that's going to be exciting, isn't it, Ginger? She's been so hyper this morning, haven't you? So it's nice to see it kind of relaxed. Hey. We are back home. We were gone longer than I expected to be gone. It's 2:15. The kids will be getting home from school here in about a half an hour. But we got everything done that we set out to do. I wanted to go to Canadian Tire and pick up one specific thing, and they didn't have it at our local Canadian Tire, so I had to go to the one that's about like 25 minutes away, which was fine because I had to be in that area anyway, but it was just an extra stop. And then we ran into Walmart. We picked up a few things, but we're home now, and I'm going to get started on some supper. I picked up a few things at Walmart, so I'll show you quickly here what we picked up there. Picked up some sausages. These were on for $3.97, which is a good deal. This is some meat that I'm thawing for supper. I picked up 2 of those, and then I saw this big tray of chicken breasts that was on for $17.25, so I picked up that. I found 2 of these Taylor Farms Caesar salads on for $2.73. We're gonna have one of those with supper tonight. Blueberries were $4.97, and then I picked these up from a local, it's like a little mom and pop shop. And every Christmas they sell pies. I think I picked up two turkey and a chicken, and they are the best pies. And with the turkey, they do like a stuffing bottom instead of crust, and they're so good. So these are frozen. I'm going to pop them in my freezer. I'm just getting some ground beef going in my Dutch oven here. This is probably still a bit frozen, yeah. So I'm just gonna let that cook on low for a little bit and let it thaw. I'm making a recipe that I just saw. I think I saw it actually on Facebook when I was just scrolling through there last night. And it was called Poor Man's Stew, and it just sounds like just stew but made with ground beef, which I never really thought to do. So that's what we're going to do with this ground beef. I just portioned out my chicken breasts. I put 2 bags with 3 chicken breasts in it rather than having to thaw out that whole big tray. It's already separated, so I'm going to put that in the freezer. I'm going to throw my pies in the freezer. We're going to have one of these salads on the side for supper. I'm glad to have some more fruit for the kids' lunches. I will also be glad come Christmas break when I get a break from making all of the lunches. I feel like I make so many lunches between the kids and Dave's. I figured I better get out my camera before I get too far ahead of my steps here. So I cooked my ground beef. I drained a little bit of the grease off. I added 1 package of onion soup mix. The recipe doesn't call for this. It calls for beef broth, but I didn't have that, so I thought I would add onion soup mix for some nice flavor. And I added 2 cups of water, a half of an onion, and some garlic. So I just have that simmering in my Dutch oven here. I'm going to get some potatoes and some carrots peeled. I think this recipe calls for some diced tomatoes. I don't know if I'm going to add that or not. So I just peeled some carrots. I'm gonna get those in there. I'm gonna add some more water to this. I don't think I'm gonna bother adding the diced tomatoes. So the vegetables are fork tender in our stew. Actually, I probably could have cooked this just a little less time. I just have some cornstarch and water in here that I'm going to use to kind of thicken this up a little bit. I might see if I have some peas that I can add in here as well. Hopefully the kids like this with ground beef. My kids love when I make stew, and I haven't made it in a while. I don't have any peas, but I do have some mixed frozen. Oh. Just dumped them all over the stove trying to show you guys the bag. I'm gonna add some of these, just some frozen vegetables in here to get some more veggies in it. And then normally I would have made tea biscuits or something like that to have on the side, but I didn't get that far in my day, so we're just gonna have one of those salads that I picked up in Walmart. These potatoes are cooked just a little too much and they're just slightly mushy, but nobody's gonna care. Let me get the cover back on that. I just have it on very low, let those frozen vegetables kind of cook through a little bit. I just finished getting everybody's food on the table. I thought I would show you how everything is looking. So we all have our bowl of stew. This one is Dave's. I always like to top ours with a little blob of butter and then some pepper. I had just a little bit of sourdough bread, so I just cut them into small pieces and buttered them. If anybody would like some bread, normally I would make rolls or tea biscuits with stew, but I just didn't get time today. And then we're having one of the Caesar salads that I picked up in Walmart today. The kids are having milk. Dave and I are gonna have water. I know Jacob is looking forward to this supper. I think we could all use a hearty meal after some sickness going around and that. But anyway, that's going to be our supper. The kids and I are just getting ready to head out for an evening walk. We've been doing this, actually I shouldn't talk so loud because Emily's gone to bed. We've been doing this, well, we try and do it every evening after supper, but we haven't done it because it's just been so rainy and then so windy, and then we've been kind of sick off and on. Anyway, we're just getting ready to head out for a walk here. We had our supper and got everything all cleaned up. The stew was really good. Everybody really liked it. Did you enjoy the stew?
Yeah, I loved it.
Jacob loved it, he said. Anyway, that's where we're off. I'm not sure if I'll film anything on our walk, but Good morning, everyone. It's the next day that I'm picking up my camera here. We went for our walk yesterday evening and I just never picked up my camera anymore after that. I'm just getting ready to sit down to some breakfast. It's a little after 11. I have some eggs with some cheese in them. They're not looking all that pretty, but they're going to taste really good. I have some blueberries. I also picked up a coffee when I was out this morning. I had to take Ginger for her needles this morning, so I picked up a coffee on my way home, so I'm still working on that. Ginger had the other half of her rabies shot today, so she's all caught up in her vaccinations now. So she's just having a rest. Did you want to say good morning to everyone?
Kenny.
Did we take Ginger to the vet this morning? It's a busy week this week, so this is the kids' last full week of school before Christmas break, and I feel like I have just things on every day, and I was hoping to get a few things done this week while they were in school, but I'm not sure how much we're going to get done. I took out some chicken legs to thaw. I took these out before we went to the vet. They're starting to thaw. I saw a recipe on Our Tribe of Many. It was last night, actually. Are you okay, Emily?
Yeah.
Can you move the gates? Thank you. She made a recipe with well, she used canned chicken. I'm going to use these chicken legs, and then I'm just going to remove all the meat from the bone. I'm going to cook them in my Instant Pot. It was frozen broccoli and mayonnaise and sour cream, and oh, I don't have any bacon bits. Anyway, I'm going to make that for supper tonight, I'm pretty sure. Well, I got my chicken legs going in my Instant Pot. I meant to show them to you guys before I turned it on, and of course I forgot. But I just put salt, pepper, garlic powder, I think that was, and paprika on them. And I set them to high pressure for 13 minutes. So they're just going to do their thing. And then when they're done, I'm going to take them out and take all the meat off the bone. I'm just going to get started on some shortbread cookies. So this is a recipe that I use for shortbread cookies. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to double this or not. Anyway, I'll have to decide that, but that's a recipe if you want to take a screenshot of it. It's a really good recipe. It makes a nice kind of light and flaky shortbread cookie. I'm going to get out my ingredients for that. I need to run downstairs and get some cornstarch. Actually, I need to make sure I have enough icing sugar as well. All right, in my bowl, so I decided that I did want to double this because I thought I want to give some away, and then the kids might enjoy just decorating some. So the recipe calls for 1 cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of butter, a 1/2 cup of cornstarch, and a 1/2 cup of icing sugar. So I just doubled all that. I just washed my hands, and I'm going to mix this up by hand. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and then I'll get out my cookie cutters, and we'll get some cookies cut out. Look at this sweet little girl having a little rest. You having a little snooze? Put your little head down. Oh, look at those little paws. All right, well, I'm on to supper now. This is how much chicken I got from, that doesn't really show you how much is in there. That's how much chicken I got from those chicken legs. I didn't really show much of that process, but I just took all the meat off the bone. I have all my cookies here, just under a towel to keep them safe and, you know, nothing lands on them. So they're there. So this recipe is one that I saw on Our Tribe of Many. I'm not sure if you guys watch that channel or not, but I just happened to be watching last night and she was sharing a bunch of quick and easy suppers, and a couple of them sounded good. And excuse me, I knew I had these chicken legs in the freezer, and I thought that's a good way to use those up. We're not a big fan of chicken legs. I'm not sure if I'll really buy them anymore, but... So she doesn't give any measurements for this, but I think it's cream cheese. I just had to take some out of the freezer and let it thaw. I had some cream cheese in the freezer, so I took it out and put it in this bag, and I let it sit in a bowl of warm water, and it thawed quicker than I expected, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to throw the whole block in there. I think it's sour cream, mayonnaise, mozzarella cheese, but I don't have that, but I have marble cheese, so I'm going to use that, a few spices. We're going to get it all mixed in this bowl, and then we're going to put, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, and I'm still a bit stuffed up, and my throat is just a little bit dry. We're going to mix all of it in this bowl. She didn't have anything with hers, but we're going to have rice with ours. I have some rice going in my rice cooker. We're going to have rice on the side. So let's get this all mixed up, and then it has to bake in the oven, I think, for like 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm just going to throw this whole, actually I'm going to cut this bag. I'm going to put a whole block of cream cheese in there. Hopefully that's not too much. Filling a whole bag of frozen broccoli. All right, it calls for a little bit of chicken broth. I'm not sure how much I'll add. I might just start with that much and see how it goes. I maybe should have picked a bigger bowl. Softened cream cheese, sour cream. Okay, I kind of wish I did have some measurements. I added a good sized spoonful of mayonnaise while the camera wasn't on. And now it says we're going to add onion powder. Whoa. And garlic powder. And salt and pepper. And now I have to try and get all this mixed, which is going to be a little bit tough with the frozen broccoli. And then we're going to put it in our dish, and I think we just top it with some cheese and bake. Oh, my battery's going to die. All right, I got this in my dish. I added a little bit more garlic powder, salt, and pepper because I tasted it and I just felt like it could use a little bit more seasoning. We're going to top this with some cheese. I think this is going to be really good though. And we're going to bake it in the oven. It's not going to take very long. So I just took this out of the oven. I cooked it for about 30 minutes. I actually bumped the heat. So I cooked it for 20 minutes, and then I bumped the temperature up to 375 because the broccoli still seemed pretty crunchy. And then I cooked it for another 10 minutes, and then I just put it under the broiler for a minute. So we'll see how it is. I don't know if everybody's going to be a big fan of this. I know Ben's not going to love it because he's not a big broccoli lover, but we'll see how everybody else likes it. We're going to serve it over some rice. And good morning, everyone. It's the next day. This is my third day recording this vlog. I just finished making some coffee. The kids are all home from school today. Emily woke up early this morning and threw up, and Ben and Audrey had school skating today. And anyway, I let them all stay home because I wasn't able to go to the rink and tie up their skates. So I told them if they were going to be good, they could stay home. So everybody's home, and then of course I couldn't let them stay home and not give Jacob the option. So Jacob stayed home as well. Our supper last night was good. I found it a bit rich. The sauce, maybe the block of cream cheese was too much. Jacob loved it. Dave liked it. Emily didn't eat hers probably because she wasn't feeling good. And Ben's not a fan of broccoli anyway, but they all ate it except for Emily. But I don't think... Audrey said she loved it, but it was taking her forever to eat it. So anyway, Jacob loved it. Dave liked it. I didn't mind. I think next time if I made it again, I wouldn't go as heavy on the cream cheese. That is the story on the supper. I just never picked my camera up again after supper yesterday. I was just debating whether to make these Nanaimo bars or not. I made these for Dave last year. That was his request for Christmas baking. And I was just here thinking, do I want to do this? Do we need these? Oh, we definitely don't need them. But I thought I might try and make them up, see how quick I could make them. I also thought about making up some gingerbread men. I'm not sure. I need to make something to take for a dessert on Christmas Eve, and I don't know what I'm going to take yet. I have thought that I could just do up like a kind of a platter of like different things like shortbread cookies and some gingerbread men, some pieces of gumdrop loaf. I just haven't decided. Oh, let me show you my shortbread cookies. I keep making all these things that I don't need to make instead of the things that I do need to make. But again, I grew up with a mom that baked and baked for Christmas, and we don't need a whole ton of sweets in the house, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, you gotta do your Christmas baking. These are my shortbread cookies, so I'm gonna stick these in the freezer. But I iced them all last night, and I iced them all and let them sit out on my cookie sheet, and then put them in the fridge so that they could kind of harden, and that way I can put them in the freezer with the icing on them, and the icing all stays intact. And then I can put these in cans and give them out. So I thought they turned out really pretty. Some of them I dipped in the sprinkles, and then I liked the way it looked when I just kind of sprinkled a few of the sprinkles on. So I thought they turned out good. So I will put those in the freezer. They're just in the fridge for right now, but I find the best way is to ice them immediately, and then they're all set to go. So easy just to put some in a can. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go for it, I guess. It says to get out your double boiler. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna use my pan. I'll just maybe turn my heat down to low. I'm gonna get all my ingredients out for this, and then I'll be back. So it says to mix a half a cup of unsalted butter. Mine is salted. A quarter of a cup of sugar. And then 5 tablespoons of cocoa. Ooh. Hi.
What are you making?
I'm making Nanaimo bars. Do you remember I made them last year? Oh, yeah. They have like the yellow stuff in the middle. They're a square. Excuse me. Can I get here for 1 second? Or do I want to whisk? You guys having fun?
Yeah.
I've added my egg in there, and it says to stir until thick and until it's thick and cooked. Sorry, I got distracted and my brain started thinking about something else. I thought there was something else that I was going to make and show you, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that in any more cooking in this video because it's going to end up being too long. Okay, remove from heat, stir in crumbs, coconut, and nuts. Okay, well, I'm not doing nuts. I've added 1 3/4 cup of graham wafer crumbs, graham cracker crumbs, and 1 cup of coconut. So I'm going to get this all mixed up. This is going to be our base. I can't do this with one hand. I was trying to do this as neatly as possible and trying to clean up as I go, and I got coconut all over the stove. Anyway, I'm going to mix this up, and then we're going to press it in an 8x8 pan, and then we'll go on to step 2. Okay, hang on.
And that was a little baby.
Okay, bottom layer's done. All pressed in my pan. Emily's feeling better because she came out and said, I want to help. So I told her to wash your hands, and
I did.
And you did, yeah.
And I peed and I didn't poop. I just peed and washed my hands.
Thank you for the update. All right, we're going to stick these in the fridge. And we're going to move on to step 2. All right, for the second layer, we have a half a cup of butter in our bowl, and we're gonna add 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of cream, 2 tablespoons of vanilla custard powder. I think mine, I don't know if mine's vanilla. Mine is just custard powder. Anyway, that's what we're going with. And then 2 cups of icing sugar. So we're gonna get that all mixed in our bowl. We're trying to clean as we go, clean our dishes as we go. But that's what's going to go in our middle layer here. Yeah, okay. Okay. Need to get the All right, I figure since I'm out here and I have everything out, I'm going to make up some gingerbread men. Hopefully this bowl's gonna be big enough. We're just gonna mix our dry ingredients in here. We need 4 cups of flour. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. It calls for ginger and cloves, but I'm actually just going to add a little bit of pumpkin pie seasoning. 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're just going to mix all that up. Okay, could you guys turn the music down a little bit? So that's going to be our dry. In my mixer, I have 1/2 cup of softened butter. I just melted mine a little bit in the microwave, or I meant to soften it, but I did melt a little bit. And then, 1 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. So I'm going to get this all mixed. We're going to add 2 eggs, 1 at a time. So I'm going to mix that one in there. Okay, just put my second egg in there. All right, we're gonna add 3/4 cup of molasses. Emily wants to, okay, make sure it's right in the bowl, Emily. I'm gonna have to put the camera down because I'm gonna need the spatula for this one. Okay, hold it inside the bowl. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I don't know how much of this I showed, but I mixed our dry into our wet, and then it says to put them into 2 discs, wrap them in saran wrap, and put them in the fridge. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let these sit in the fridge for a little bit. I'm gonna end this video here. Hopefully it's not too long. We just finished icing the gingerbread men, and I just sliced up the Nanaimo bars. I'm not sure why the chocolate on the top always cracks or like separates from the middle part of the square, but I'll have to look that up why that always happens, because that happened last year when I made them too. When I slice them, the chocolate separates and it's kind of annoying. Anyway, those gingerbread men are so good. If you're looking for a good gingerbread man recipe, that one is so good. You bake them for 10 minutes and they're just a really soft cookie. They're so delicious. The kids, I think they all had more than one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me and seeing a little bit of our Christmas baking. Thank you guys for watching. I'm not exactly sure when this video is going to come out, probably before Christmas, but I hope you guys all have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you soon.